I came from the actual gutter. But I say that to say I've achieved all my goals already, like 10 times over. Like 10 times over. Like the cars I hear about in rap songs, I drive those cars, like houses and beautiful women and traveling around the world. I have achieved all my goals like many times over. You might say, Marquette, you don't have a yacht. I never wanted a yacht. It was never my dream. I can go on yachts. I choose not to. I don't find it to be interesting. It's like a hotel on the water. It's like less convenient than an actual hotel because you can't call room service. You can't walk outside and go do what you want to do. Like, I don't get it. It's not my thing. So I say that to say, even as someone who has achieved all of their dreams, not some of my dreams, I've achieved all of them, except I do have a bucket list item. I want to stroke out like a stud, like young M.A., just to see if she'll moan, just some hood nigga shit. But anyways, point is, as someone who's achieved all of their dreams, not once, but several times, you feel me? Several times over, I still am hustling and I'm still trying to have as much vigor as ever. And to get to the next level, I'm doing everything new and fresh. Come on. Come with me. Come with me now. Hustle Mania is the hyper focus on achieving your wealth goal that yields to nothing. And in my case, it's going to go for 13 months. It is a complete alteration of your lifestyle, not removing critical disciplines like exercise, but hyper focusing on those things that give you the output that you seek. It's a high level of intensity to get what you really want. Now, you might say, well, for you, Marquette, like Hustle Mania, you're saying you're going to do 13 months, and major alteration in my lifestyle is I spend no less than 30% of the year traveling around the world, being James Bond. You dig? Yeah, traveling everywhere, stopping this country, stopping that country at whim. At whim. I'm booking one-way trips. I just go around the entire planet Earth. I do that for 30% of every year for like the last decade. This is the first time I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually stay home and work. I never do that. I'll work, but I'll be on the road. I'll be traveling here and, spending tremendous amounts of money on a regular basis. So here's a funny thing. I don't have to save money. Just by not doing what I've been doing, I'll save money on accident. It's like, for example, I'm not in Las Vegas. So there are not a bunch of like Michelin restaurants and ultra luxury resorts for me to go to and, live in the resort for 2.5 weeks while I got an apartment here and a whole house here in the same city, but I'm on the resort, ordering room service for 3 meals a day. You feel me? And I be ordering feasts too. If you ever been with the big homie in Vegas and some of you have, man, I order feasts. You heard me? I order real feasts, my boy. And shout out to my favorite dessert is that, I don't even know why I'm throwing this out there. I just, it's a oop. Shout out to Fountain Blue. And I'll tell you why I appreciate their dessert, because you can ask for unnecessary stuff and they'll do it for you at Fountain Blue, and as well, Crockford's. I'll call Fountain Blue and I'll say, hey, send me up chocolate cake. This is a reward. I've done something extraordinary. Send me up some chocolate cake and some ice cream, and they'll bring the ice cream like all in like with ice all around it in like a little mini refrigerator. So it's gonna be proper. I'll say, but heat the cake up. Like, I need the cake to arrive hot. And they're like, I'll ask the chef, but the chef always says yes. So heat the cake up so the cake comes hot, icing melt. Pull the ice cream out of the ice. The ice cream is perfectly preserved. Man, it's a great dessert. It's a great dessert. Reward yourself, treat yourself when you're winning. If you could just master one thing or two things out of a whole conference, a whole seminar, it'll move your life forward significantly. When I was in software and I would give presentations to universities or to manufacturers or, the medical industry, I would tell them, I say, you guys are currently taken away by this big data wave. Everyone's about big data. I was like, you don't need big data. You need critical data, which is to say you don't need to know everything. You need to know the important things. You need to be able to understand that information, the data, quickly, and then know what to do. So what does the data tell me? The data that matters. And then number two, what do I do with it? I say that to say this. Here's the important things in life for everyone listening. This is what's going to get you to the next level. Number one, being able to think clearly, ideally simplicity and oneness. How do I make things simple? How do I do one thing? Focus on one thing, not a bunch of things. So that's number one. Improve the quality of your thoughts. Number two, it'll be helped by your writing. Reading is great. A lot of people read. Writing is actually as important. I'd say you should write as much, if not more, than you read. That's number 2. Then number 3, the ability to communicate. Clear thoughts and the ability to write and writing frequently will improve your ability to speak generally, but mastering communication is the most important thing you will do. That's why I have the Master Communicator course, because communication, my ability to do such, has allowed me to thrive. Marquette, how's that? You lived in South Korea, Marquette. I bet that was hard to communicate with people in a language that is not your own. Mastering communication, making connections, getting the point across. Marquette, you've done business in China with the Chinese government. Yes. Master communicator. It helps you get things done, but also it helps you represent yourself. So people want to do business with you. They find you to be interesting. They find you appealing. They think you're a good listener. They think you like them. Master communication. So that's the third piece, is master communication. If you get those 3 pieces, you're going to be unstoppable. You don't need much else. Marquette, are you a perfect man? No. Marquette, are you deficient in certain areas? Absolutely. Are you missing certain things? For sure. Do you have strange quirks? Absolutely. But I got the 3 things that I named, and with those 3 things, I can rule the world. That's what you need to figure out. How can I do more with less? How do I do more with less? How do I maximize the skills I do have? How do I sharpen up the skills that matter the most? You don't need to be able to do a whole bunch of stuff. Like, for example, here's a true story. I love basketball. Anyone who's seen me, in athletic shorts or in flip-flops, you'll see I have a scar this long on the back of my Achilles from balling too hard. You hear me? Balling hard. I love basketball. When I started boxing, I stopped basketball. I haven't picked up a basketball since. It's been years now. Simplicity and oneness. I'm going to play one sport. I'm going to get good at it. Simplicity and oneness. Marquette, well, why boxing over basketball? Because I don't meet the physical requirements and the skill requirements to be a great basketball player at a paid level. I do meet that to be a professional boxer at a paid level. Absolutely. And it's been proven. So that's why simplicity and oneness. And those are the 3 things. Think clearly, write out your thoughts and your wealth goal, hyper focus on it, be a great communicator to yourself and to others. Now glide.
And shout out to those of you who appreciate these jewels and gems of knowledge, which really you can't get anywhere else, in as much as the ones who are on YouTube, they don't have the experience and knowledge to tell you. The ones who know it are using it, and they don't have the time to be on YouTube because they're busy making money. Yeah, they're obsessed capitalists. My thing is, I'm here as a teacher, as a spiritual guide, because I realize that, 1, I've lived longer than I expected. I didn't expect to be alive. Number 2, I've achieved far more than I expected or anticipated or anyone else thought. And now I have the opportunity to be a light to others. That's the thing that makes me happiest. And as you would have heard if you've been to my conferences in person, I always tell you, I'm not here to become a millionaire. I don't want to make millions. I want to make millionaires. That's more interesting at this stage.
I'm about making the rich richer. People say, oh, the poor get poorer, the rich get richer. They said it's a negative thing. I think that's fine. I'm here to make the rich richer. If you're rich in spirit, you're rich in ambition, you're rich in goodness, I want to make you richer. I watch human beings, and I understand the guy that's blowing the leaves is going to forever be blowing them damn leaves because he ain't thinking of no damn ideas. You hear me? He's not trying to figure nothing out. I've never been in one situation and not been trying to figure out what the next situation is. Come on, man.
And you have to make adjustments in life. This is what the wise do. And we also are able to acknowledge and realize the limitations of others. Those men who are great men, and there's a difference between bad men, good men, and great men. There's levels to this. I'm going to write out a chart for you all. In real life, I will. But there's this female who says, hey, you got to be monogamous with me. Now, I'm your only woman. Okay, for sure. Then you ask her to do something for you. She can't do whatever you ask, whether it's sexual, whether it's a task or what have you. Like, oh, you want to be my only woman, but you're not even competent to do what I want, or you don't have the interest in satisfying me physically, whatever the case was. So it's laughable. So you're dealing with someone who is unrealistic, someone who is not a loving person, more narcissistic, and a person who does not think in systems, not realizing that, well, if you're going to be the only woman, you have to do everything, right? Now, if say you were one of 2 wives and one wife doesn't want to cook, the other wife can cook, perhaps, but she doesn't understand systems. So there's always going to be a problem. And you know what? Some people, they live in chaos.
Yeah, I know for sure. Yeah, I'm not making up things. I'm talking from the experience of a man who's traveled around the world. And when I go to a country, I get all up in it. You heard me? So
some wicked people, yes, they live in chaos and they enjoy argument and negativity. If you're a very even man, you're the kind of person who doesn't argue. Like me, I don't argue. I don't argue at all. I don't argue and I don't chase them. I just replace them. That's it. Or I marginalize them. So the young lady who said, oh, slow down, you're walking too fast. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I even slowed down for her. But see, here's the thing. That was the last walk she ever took with me in her whole life. You dig? She ain't never walked with me again in her whole life. And that was why. So I'm not going to argue with her. If I think there's a case where I can learn something, I'm always open to learn. So I did, in fact, ask her because I wanted to understand before I had her hit the road. I said, hey, what makes you think that I should walk at your pace as opposed to you walking at my pace? She says, because my legs are shorter. And I said, well, my legs are longer. She says, well, I'm accustomed to Muslim men being accommodating to a Muslim woman. Oh, I said, oh, I'm accustomed to Muslim women being accommodating to a Muslim man. So explain to me. I'm waiting for you to tell me something that has meaning that I can't say right back to you. She said, well, I just want you to walk slower. I said, okay, fantastic. You're done. You're done. I don't even have to say you're done. I just say that in my head and then boom, there's no more communication. She keeps reaching out, but eventually she'll get the picture. And the sad reality is that that female's never going to change, even if she says she's going to change. When you're in a strong position as a man, which I am, they always tell you they're going to change, they're going to improve, they're going to do better. They don't. They never do. Very few people on the planet Earth can improve. Most of them, when you meet them, that's who they are. With women, they're hiding it. And once you get a little bit of time in, once you've had an argument with them, that's who they are. And it won't change. Very few people can change and adjust. Remember that. Never forget that. And in my book, The Black Box, I talk about that.
If you take anything from this conversation today, take the idea of being serious, take the idea of being manly in all that you do, having intensity, oneness and simplicity. And there'll come a time when you know that you've really accepted the ism and you're living by it. You'll know. Your behaviors will change. The way people perceive you will evolve. The way you perceive yourself will be different.
Their hierarchy is such a real thing that I could sit here and tell you guys the truth of everything and people will still be broke. You feel me? Like I can tell people the truth of everything and some people won't believe it. Some people won't be willing to do it and everything will just stay the same. The hustlers will keep hustling. The winners will keep winning. And the losers will keep losing. They'll have an explanation as to why they lost, and it won't have anything to do with them or personal responsibility. But that's kind of the funny thing about our era. We used to think that there was people holding back the information. Nah, we're in the information age. The information is everywhere.
And my wish is for all of you to live prosperous, happy, meaningful lives.
Those who are wise will always be able to see what I'm doing. Because if you can't watch 4 of my videos and not see what I'm about. You can't watch 4 of my videos and not see that there's something deeper here. And more importantly, you can't be among the saints and not see that we have something strong and powerful, and it only gets stronger. Saints, it has been truly a pleasure to be here fellowshipping with you. I tell you, I could have done a lot of things tonight, and I'm so happy that I did this and had this time to spend with you. It's been an honor.
I thank you to all of you who share the ism with people because it is truly life-changing. A woman reached out recently, a gentleman that shared the ism with her, and I think that it's always a blessing to people. So let us spread this way because we are facing huge levels of evil dominating around the earth. Ladies and saints, let us end this with our tradition, the creed of the assassin. Repeat after me with full conviction, knowing this is true of you. The creed of the assassin.
I am going to be who I truly am.
Because I am remarkable. And I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part.
To show the greatest part. To show the greatest part of who I am.
Until next time.